Live from the Counterpunch Media Studio in Columbus, Ohio, this is All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Brought to you by IPMNation.com. Get ready for the gong heard round the world.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good evening. Once again, welcome and thank you for stopping by what is now the 404th. Wayne just let me know. I didn't realize that. The 404th episode of the #1 rated show here on IPMNation.com. You're into All Natural Being and the gong heard round the world. Broadcast as it happens, thanks to our good friends at Telestream's Wirecast, but it's broadcast live from the new and hopefully improved, what do we call it now, Counterpunch Media Studios here in Columbus, Ohio, directly to IPMNation.com, and everyone checking their voicemails on site tonight. Multicast live over on Facebook and, of course, allnaturalbeing.com, our Brian Brawdy app, with a rebroadcast on iTunes, iHeartRadio. You know, that's another thing I'm learning about this. I don't like this. Greetings wherever you are, here in the garden of the mortals, the labyrinth of life itself. The ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, that's much better. The pivots and swerves, the flukes, the whims, the sheer havoc and synchronicity. Serendipity of it all. Blind alleys and cul-de-sacs, sure, but never a dead end until you tap out. And we're always putting your heart's highest priority, top of the list, always calling your true wit, wisdom, and I would dare say the wallop of your inner whisper. Not some watered-down version of you, but we want the real you. We don't want the tepid you. That's no way to take an approach to life. You're here to out-brutal the brutal, come what may. You're here to definitely defeat the cut and shuffle that fate can deal you on a daily basis, and for all else, to bring your own bold once and for all. But before we hit it this evening, a quick hello to my friends here in the United States and in a certain gym just north of here. The United States and Canada, Mexico, the UK, my dear friends in Ecuador, China, the Philippines, Brazil, India, Australia, Germany, Italy, and France, Nigeria, Turkey, Japan, Singapore, Thailand, Belgium. Hello, Belgium, Sweden, Israel, South Africa, Egypt, and Puerto Rico, Kenya, the Netherlands, Iran, Colombia, Greece, Ireland, Argentina, Peru, Austria, Poland. To those joining us from all over the globe, excuse me, it is great to have you with us, and I am truly fired up to be driving your bandwagon, to be your virtual hitchhiker if you're out and about on the go. Because you know what I love about riding shotgun is I get to hang out with you. So what are we waiting for? What do you say? We got an action-packed show tonight for number 404. What do you say? Let's go kick in some doors. And tonight, Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness. As I like to think of it, DNF, or damn near faultless. He'll be with us here in just a little bit once we plug him. Once we plug the earpiece back in, I imagine he'll be right along. It's very disconcerting. I have to tell you, and we're working on it now. It's very disconcerting to have to listen to that echo. I got to tell you, my heart goes out to you all. Let me say hello to Lee. Lee, thank you so very much for joining us. Candace, nice to see you. Wayne, thank you very much as well. Tonight, big night, Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness, and I think we're talking diets are on the menu. That's what we're going to be talking about this evening. But before we get that all started, before we kick that all in, I got more wires and plate of spaghetti here. You know, someone was talking to me, I think it was maybe yesterday, about meditation. And everyone seems to want to make meditation out to be such a big deal, right? It's like, oh, you got to torque your back, you got to ruin your knees, you got to find a place to sit, you got to do this, you got to do that. And okay, for people that are into that, for people that have a mantra other than thank you, don't know why you would, but if you do, good for you. But other than the thank you mantra, other than cultivating a mindset of thankfulness, meditation simply comes down to this. You have a thought. Looks like a baseball. Binge thinking, right? All kinds of stuff written all over that baseball. Catcher's mitt. Catcher's mitt is your mind. Very simply, a thought comes in. If you hold it in your mind, it's on you. If you drop that thought, right, you go like this, oh, let me grab that, then your mind is empty. So your mind is basically a giant catcher's mitt. And to the degree that you decide to hold on to a thought, you decide to hold on to something incoming, then it's yours. You own it. It's kind of like signing for a UPS package. If you don't sign for the package, pretty sure the driver's not going to leave it if it's signature required. You know what I'm saying? But basically, meditation comes down to realizing that your mind is a catcher's mitt. It catches everything it can coming in, but you're the one that decides. Does it hold on to it? Does it drop it? Maybe there's a reason to hold on to a particular incoming thought that your mind has. But in meditation, it's simply just allowing the thoughts to come in and drop. You want to keep the catcher's mitt clean. That's all meditation is. So I know a lot of hocus pocus, a lot of, the new age of meditation or meditation 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, whatever kind of mashugana. What meditation boils down to is you treat your mind like a catcher's mitt. Whatever thoughts come in, you decide whether you hold or whether you scold, whether you get rid of it and go, I don't want that thought in mind. I don't want that, right? I don't want, what did Gandhi say? Well, I don't let people in to walk around my mind with dirty feet. Well, that's what it is. Meditation is about making sure you don't let any thoughts with dirty feet get in and run around your mind. It's like making sure you don't allow someone with a can of spray paint to get in and graffiti your mind. So we don't have to make it a whole lot more metaphysical. We don't have to make it a whole lot more challenging than just that. Remember, your mind is like a catcher's mitt. You decide what gets trapped in it. You decide, right? You can't help the pitches coming in. The pitcher's going to keep throwing pitches. All you can decide is what you're going to hold on to, what you're going to allow the catcher's mitt to catch, and what you're going to drop and let it go by the wayside. So that's like meditation 101. And if you practice just a little bit and go, I don't want to turn my mind off. No one's talking about that. How unnatural does that sound? I don't want to turn my mind off. All I want to do is I want to be the one in control of the thoughts. I want to be the one in control of the binge thinking. I want to be the one in control of all those incoming thoughts. And when that happens, then you nail meditation. It's nothing more hocus pocus, nothing more mystical, I guess, than that. But I suspect people, they can't sell you a concept of, oh, well, if you want to do meditation, all you got to do is picture your mind as a catcher's mitt. Not a lot of 12-step classes they can sell you for that. Not a lot of programs that they can get you involved with that, right? So they want to sell you that it's something bigger, something more, I don't know. You get where I'm going with that, right? Don't be sold. Just remember your mind is a catcher's mitt. What you catch, what you hold on to is totally up to you. What you let go of is totally up to you. And that's meditation in a nutshell. Diets, yikes. The Reese Cup was good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Candace. Jen, nice to see you. Brother Wallman, nice to see you as well. Thank you so very much for tuning in to All Natural Being. And now I think I said the 404th episode of our little show. All right, we're just about a minute away, so I guess I should figure out these wires and plug in and see what our good friend Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness is up to this evening. And he's going to be talking about, because we got a lot of questions. And if you have some questions, you're welcome to throw them out here in the thread as well. Any questions from a professional, a certified personal trainer, he knows it all. So if you get a chance, but as he would want me to say, and as he will probably say, he's not a doctor, he's not a psychologist, a proctologist, a podiatrist. He's none of those other things, right? So you got to consult with your doctor. But for general stuff, this guy's got it going on. All right, so let me put this in here. Let me click over here. Oh, there he is. Derek, how are you, sir? Nice to see you as always.
Nice to see you, Brian.
Thank you very much. So sorry about that, but what I've realized is that we get a lot of cords going on to pull this off to get you here. So we just have to figure out how to make that work. But very glad to have you. And I was telling some people earlier what's on the menu tonight when they said, "Oh, what are you going to be talking about?" We're going to be talking about dieting, and not just like dieting that's no good for you, but like the keto diet or the this diet or the water diet or the that diet, just to get you to give us an idea, a thumbnail. What's going on in the world of should we, shouldn't we? Is there one that's better than any other? Take it away, Derek.
So, yeah, diets are a really big thing. Health and fitness, there's always that new one. I know in the 90s, there was the Atkins diet. In the early 2000s, the Zone diet started coming along. Then you got paleo with the advent of CrossFit becoming a giant thing. And now that it's, the tail end of the 2010 decade, keto is the huge one. It's the one that everyone is thinking of. I have to talk to people about keto all the time.
So that's the one that's grabbing everybody's attention, I would say, that keto diet. But before we move on, let me say hello to Marcia. Marcia, thank you so very much for joining us this evening. And to Kathy, thank you for joining us. 404 not found. Brother Wallman, very, very smart. Dirty footprints in my mind. He's got none of them in there. Oh, talking about diets, that would be a great diet, wouldn't it? If you could get rid of all the dirty footprints hanging out in your mind, that would be a good one. All right, Derek, so what would be the one? Now, I know that ketosis, and maybe you could explain that to people, how that works in the human body. I'm a huge fan, as you know, of intermittent fasting, which kind of like meditation. We were talking about it earlier. Even though you want to make it a lot more dramatic. Oh, intermittent fasting. Yeah. I eat dinner at 6 o'clock and I don't have breakfast till 6 o'clock the next morning. Right? So I fasted for 12 hours. Oh, Bri, how do you do that intermittent fasting thing? I don't get up at midnight and have a snack. I don't raid the refrigerator at 3:30 in the morning. And then if I can keep myself, right, from getting anything to eat until 6 a.m., there's your 12 hours. There's your intermittent fast. What do you think, brother?
I am actually a fan of intermittent fasting, but here's the thing, and this is actually a good segue into everything we're going to be talking about today. The best diet is the one that works for you. Mm-hmm. So for some people, intermittent.
That's a good one. Okay.
Feeling of hunger.
Okay.
And that's where it comes in, is a lot of the diets and lifestyle changes that people come through are largely psychology based.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Chances you're going to adhere to that. And
not for very long, at least.
Yes.
Right.
And it's that sustainability. So if a diet can work, I'll use ketosis as an example. Does ketosis work? Absolutely. Is it something like pure hardcore ketosis? Is that something that someone can sustain for a long period of time? In most cases, no.
Nor would you want to, right?
Exactly. So a lot of people have these preconceived notions about keto. And I don't want anyone to think that I'm bashing on keto because, again, it is very effective for fat loss, but there are pros and cons. And I think that's what we're going to be talking about, is pros and cons of a few of these different diets.
Okay, so let me throw in real quick. Candace says, Derek, won't most diets work if you just stick with it? Actually, maybe change in habit. And then, okay, I guess your audio cut out there for a little bit, but Wayne says he is back now. Coming and going. Thank you very much, Candace.
Coming and going.
Don't switch cameras. Loses sound. Yeah, I know. You'd think the cameras could handle that. Right, brother? All right. So, Derek, what do we got?
So, pros and cons of different diets. And by the way, yes, the best diet is one you can stick to. It's one that you enjoy eating. It's a way you enjoy spending your time eating. I'm also a former executive chef. I would never tell you to eat something that you hate. because I wouldn't. So if I hate spinach, why am I eating spinach all the time? If I hate Brussels sprouts, why am I eating them? There are plenty of other vegetables to choose from.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So pros, I'm going to use ketosis right now. I'm just going to go right into it. Pros of ketosis, because I always start with the good things. I don't like to start with the bad things.
Okay.
Good things. It can help promote body fat loss, and in most cases, or the short term, it does.
Okay.
A lot of people go, oh man, I dropped 5-10 pounds in the first week of ketosis. I hate to break it to you, but that's mostly water weight, because carbohydrates hold water. And when you don't have carbohydrates, you're not holding water anymore. So that's where that first big loss of weight comes from.
But Derek, can I ask you a quick question? Because most people say, oh, it's only water weight. But if you're getting on the scale every morning, right?
Yep.
You're getting on the scale every morning, and you're like, oh, well, I weigh 300 pounds. And then you go, well, yeah, I lost 10 pounds this weight, 8 of which is water weight. What do you care? That's still a gallon of water you're not carrying around with you, right? So if you're looking at it as weight loss, it still counts.
If you're looking at it as weight loss, it does count. And psychologically, that small win on the scale helps you, because it's all about making those small victories.
I absolutely agree.
Into the big one.
So
but after that water weight is gone, all of a sudden, oh, I'm only losing a half a pound or a pound per week or something like that.
Right, after the water weight is gone. Gotcha. All right.
Yes.
So
keto also...
Go ahead.
I was going to say keto also benefits more sedentary lifestyles, because carbohydrates, your body does need them to an extent, but carbohydrates are mostly used in basically higher intensity exercise and stuff like that. So if you're sitting in desk all day, you're not burning very many calories.
Okay.
Then, sorry, my earpiece is giving me a little bit of an issue right now. But if you're sitting around at a desk
Wayne barking
all day,
orders at you, telling you to sit up straight, is he? Did you tell him you're not sitting, you're standing, so of course you're sitting up straight? Right. Can you spell ketosis?
What is ketosis?
Yeah, for someone looking to spell, what is it? Ketosis.
Yes, and I can actually define what ketosis is too, if you'd like.
Yeah, that would be great. And Lee wants to know, does that equate to dehydration if you're losing water weight?
Answering Lee's question, yes, if you're not drinking water while you're on ketosis. But if you're not drinking water, you will get dehydrated. That's just a fact of life.
Okay.
Not drinking water is never a good thing.
Right.
Really. I mean, there is an extreme. You can poison your body if you're drinking 5 gallons of water a day, but I honestly don't know anyone who does that.
Right.
The most I recommend is usually like a gallon. So that will keep you hydrated. It's more carbohydrates and salt. Both are hydroscopic, so they hold water. They pull water in. That's where the water weight comes in. Ketosis is basically how it works is when your body goes into a lower carbohydrate state. It doesn't have those carbohydrates to burn as fuel anymore. And the next option to use for fuel is fats. So your body starts to burn that body fat, and it releases something known as a ketone, so that your brain can actually use energy, or that fat, as energy. Because your brain prefers carbohydrates. It's easier for the body to consume. It's easier to burn. The next thing is going to be fat.
That seems to make sense.
Yep. So
one would think.
It's just a matter of, ketosis is the matter of how many ketones are built up so that they start burning body fat as fuel.
Okay. Candace says here in the thread, my doctor told me not to drink too much water either. Never really thought about it until then. Drowning organs. I was drinking too much water, she says.
That is difficult to do, but a lot of people get on that train of, I need to drink water, I need to drink water, I need to drink water. Right. And then all of a sudden they're drinking 3 or 4 gallons of water a day, and that is exactly what happens.
It's great for you up until that point, right? It's great for you because it's cleaning out the kidneys, it's getting everything else going. But yeah, like everything, in moderation. Yes. Don't go nuts with anything, because we talk about it all the time. You drink too much water, you drown.
So a good rule of thumb, so that doesn't happen, by the way, is if you take your body weight, and this obviously can fluctuate depending on how big or how small someone is. If you take your body weight, divide that in half, that's how many ounces of water you want to drink. So I weigh 180 pounds. I should be drinking about 90 ounces of water today to keep myself fully hydrated. For males, that's actually really important because even being dehydrated or sleep deprived can reduce your testosterone levels by up to 25%, studies show.
Wow.
So you want to make sure you stay hydrated. And for males, actually for everyone, testosterone is a huge driving factor for fat loss and strength gain and all of those other things. Even women who have significantly less testosterone but still have it.
Sure.
So you want to make sure you're getting plenty of sleep and drinking plenty of water.
I saw an article this week that talked about it may very well be that one of the biggest epidemics we have going on is lack of sleep. Mm-hmm. People not getting enough sleep in our country. So I think that's a very valid point.
Also, a good way to make sure that you stay on that fat loss train is to get enough sleep.
Oh, I believe that.
Your body recovers at night. A lot of studies show that too. So another thing that keto is good for, by the way, is basically to reset your insulin sensitivity, which can be very good for some type 1 diabetics, because then if they don't need so much insulin because they're not having that many carbohydrates or any at all, actually there's a doctor, his name is Dominic D'Agostino.
Okay.
This guy is kind of a counterpoint to a lot of the arguments for ketosis, because this guy was able to deadlift over 600 pounds on ketosis. So he's kind of a counterpoint, but he spends his life researching ketosis, ketones, all of those other things.
Right.
He's a super good resource for people to listen to and read about when it comes to ketosis. And he's done studies that show it's really good for people who are type 1 diabetics. Just make sure you do it under the supervision of a doctor, because that's going to bring me into my first con for keto. Keto is a medical diet, or originated as that. So originally, the only people who were prescribing ketosis as a diet were doctors for people who are significantly overweight or diabetic, as studies came out. The reason that you want to do this under doctor supervision, or at least monitoring yourself all the time as a self-experiment, is your ketone levels can go too high. And that causes, it's a little bit difficult to do it, but if you are in ketosis for an extended period of time without coming out, which by the way, it's also really easy to come out of ketosis. I'll talk about that in a second. But ketone levels in your blood are measured by millimolars. 0.6 to 1.1 millimolars of ketones in your blood is very conducive for that fat loss, that fat burning. Anything over that, especially in the numbers between like 1.6 to 2 millimolars, you have a very high risk of hitting something called diabetic ketoacidosis, which basically makes your blood too acidic, to put it in layman's terms. And it can be very life-threatening. So if you're not paying any attention and you're in ketosis for a very long time and those ketone levels start to get very high, you are actually putting your life in danger by doing that.
And then if I can, quickly, Derek, because I don't want to, I know you don't want to go into it in great depth, but can you talk a little bit about leptin resistance? And like, I hear all these things about sugar substitutes, right? Like, oh, you're drinking Diet Pop, but it's a sugar substitute in it. Let me say hello quickly to Tamara. Tamara, thank you so much for joining us. Jamie, nice to see you as well. So if you would, anything that you can share with us about leptin resistance and this whole thing about should I do NutraSweet or this artificial substitute or that? Because a lot of people think, oh, I'm drinking Diet Pop, but Diet Pop isn't all that good for you either, is it?
No, mainly because of the acid. There is a misconception because that article came out, I want to say 6 months ago. It said that artificial sweeteners cause Alzheimer's, or it was Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. I can't remember exactly what it was. And yes, it is not good for you to be drinking those things. They're acidic. Those diet pops are actually more acidic than regular pop. And that leads to rotting teeth and cavities and stuff like that. They're also kind of addictive too, but then again, so is sugar.
Right.
What everyone needs to realize with science though is correlation does not equal causation. So just because something is correlated doesn't mean that that is the reason that something is happening.
Very cool. So now, Derek, only because I've asked a couple extra questions and we're running a little bit out of time. Candace says, my cousin lost like 50 pounds and didn't know she had sugar, and her body fell into that state. Was quite a shock, Candace says. Also, what would you like to leave us with as we get ready to wrap this evening? You know, and we had teased earlier that what was on the menu tonight was about diets. Give us like the top 3 things that you'd like regular folks like us to be able to take away when it comes to discussing dieting.
Awesome. Actually, that's a really good idea, because the 3 things are,
look at that.
The first thing I let off with is the best diet is one that works for you.
Right.
So if you enjoy eating the way that you're eating and you're getting results, don't change it. Just keep going with it and see how it works for you, and keep talking with your doctor. Number 2, calories count. In the end, your body is a very complicated machine, but in the end, it is calories in versus calories out. If you are taking in less calories than you are burning, then you will eventually lose weight. If you are taking, and keep that in mind, you can eat too little calories too.
Sure.
Number 3, I'm actually going to say, is make sure you're eating enough. Your body goes into starvation mode if you're eating a small amount. So your body burns a certain amount of calories a day. My body, for example, burns probably about 1,900 calories. If I didn't get out of bed at all day long and I just laid in bed, I would burn 1,900 calories. If I chronically eat less than that, my body is going to go, whoa, we're in a period of starvation, because we have evolved, and we're now living in the first age of humanity where food is not a scarcity, for us at least here in America. And our body has evolved to go, oh, we're in starvation mode. We need to hold everything.
Right.
We need to hold it.
Is there a magic number to that, Derek? Is there, like, how do you know? Like, what's that sweet spot, or if there is even one?
There are a few different calculations. It's different for everybody depending on your muscle mass, what type of body you have, your age, blah, 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 blah. There are a few different calculators online you can go to. If you want to look that up, it's called total daily energy expenditure. And you can go there and then you can enter that. And then from there, most of them also give you something called a basal metabolic rate, which is, I run around a gym coaching people for 5-6 hours a day.
Sure.
I get to add those calories into what I burn during the day, and that's my maintenance number. The safest way to lose weight is to find that number and subtract about 300 to 400 calories.
Oh, 300 to 400. Well, there is a sweet spot then.
Yes. And metabolism is also playing effect if you have chronically undereaten. So if you're someone who's eating less than 1,000 calories a day, honestly, I don't care how big or small you are. If you're eating less than 1,000 calories a day, you need to eat more. Period.
Okay. All right.
Whether you are male or female, whether you are 80 years old or 20 years old, 1,000 calories is not enough to sustain what your body wants to do.
And keep everything firing on an open system, right? Because if you're eating less than 1,000 calories a day and your body says, oh, all hands on deck, we're being starved, we better conserve some of those calories and the energies that we may need down the road, then you're losing out again.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, very cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you get ready to break down. Oh, do me a favor, quickly. Can you tell me where you are, the name of the gym and everything else? I want to show them a little love and thank you or thank them for letting you hang with us in the evenings.
I am actually sitting in Grand Blanc Fit Body Bootcamp. I'm the facility leader here, so I just asked my boss basically if I could shoot here.
Very cool.
Located in Grand Blanc, Michigan, that gym up north. I have no problem doing that because, Ohio State and Michigan.
Sure.
But if you want to check us out, if you want to check out some things going on, our Facebook page at Grand Blanc Fit Body Bootcamp has different videos. I usually post a weekly Facebook Live video with
Very
that
cool.
as well. You could check that out. Fit Body Bootcamp, if you Google that, that'll pop up. There's probably one in your area somewhere, wherever you are in the United States. And you can find me personally at facebook.com/TheDerekNoel, on Instagram at TheDerekNoel, or my website is now officially live at DerekNoelFitness.com.
DerekNoelFitness.com. All right, we will check it out. And also, if you would, ask Wayne to post those links right here in the thread so that people that have been listening to us, we get ready to go, we will, they'll be able to get in touch with you.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Yeah, all right, my friend. Thanks for everything, brother. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So in an attempt to get out on time, I don't know why we do it anymore, but in any event, to get out on time, let me just thank everyone for joining us this evening here at All Natural Being. Sorry about the audio glitches, whatever we had going on there. Sorry about that. We'll clean them. We may have already cleaned them up. I don't know. But we'll get that addressed. And then we'll be back tomorrow with the 405th episode of All Natural Being. A very special thanks to Lee Rowley from Copy Branding, everything he did today. And also Alex McDowell from A3 Innovation. Thanks for all the work. And Wayne Noel, as always, thank him. And Derek, thank you for joining us this evening and giving us your expertise. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so very much for joining us here at All Natural Being. And until we hang together tomorrow night, remember, right here, Mortal Up. We'll see you tomorrow.
Was I out on radio or no?